Here we're gonna go over two syntax errors and two runtime error. So in the first syntax error, we initialize a variable some int to be 5. We initialize a val pointer uh, to be a type int. We then dereference val pointer to be the address of some int. This is incorrect because val pointer is a pointer, and we're assigning val pointer, which is a pointer, to a type of int, which is incorrect. When we're dereferencing value pointer, we're basically getting the value of some int. But however, value pointer is a pointer and some int is an int. There we have a type mismatch. Therefore, in order to prevent this type of error, we need to remove the dereferencing operator so that we're storing the actual memory address and not the int itself. In the second example, we have initialized a val pointer 1 and a val pointer 2. We initialize val pointer 1 to be no pointer and val pointer 2 to be no pointer. However, since this is an pointer that is an integer and we're assigning it to be a no pointer, we're gonna get the same issue. We're gonna have a type mismatch. A no pointer is not an int and therefore it cannot be assigned to an int pointer. Therefore, in order to define it as a no pointer, we simply initialize each of the pointer variables in separate lines and they automatically get declared to be a no pointer. In this case, int val pointer 1 and int val pointer 2. And we have some runtime errors. So in this example, we're initializing a val pointer. We're setting the pointer to be equal to 4. However, this is incorrect because when you initialize a pointer, this pointer has no memory address in it. It's not storing anything. And when you're dereferencing a just created pointer, it doesn't know where you're pointing to. And therefore, you're going to have an unknown address. However, in this example, we first initialize some variables integer to be 2, and then now we're referencing it to some int. This means that val pointer now has the address to some int. And now when we dereference the variable val pointer, since it is pointing to the address of some int, it has the value of 2. But since we're putting the star in front and we're assigning it, we're changing this 2 to be a 4. So now val pointer has the value of 4. In this final example, we initialize a val pointer to be no pointer. And then now we're referencing or dereferencing the variable and assigning it to be 4. However, this is not okay because this 4 has nowhere to be. It came from out of thin air, and no pointer is not an int. Therefore, to prevent this type of error, we create a integer, some int to be 2. We reference the address of some int, and we dereference val pointer and assign it to 4. So now we're changing some int because we have the address, the memory address of some int.